So guys, finally we are in the section of CSRF, that is cross-site request forgery. And in this, I'm going to show you the concept, that what is the concept of CSRF and what you can do with the help of CSRF. Also, where you can find this and how an attacker can get the whole information, maybe like maybe the credentials, the passwords, or you can say even the money, right? So those things I'm going to show you. So firstly, let's understand what is CSRF. So CSRF, it stands for cross-site request forgery, is an attack that forces authenticated user to submit a request to a web application against which they are currently authenticated. CSRF attacks exploit the trust a web application has in an authenticated user. Means there is a trustable web application where there is an authenticated user. Let's say you all guys have a bank, right? So let's say your bank, and your bank is genuine one, right? And you are the authenticated user of that bank. So see, if CSRF find there, if you are attacker and you find a CSRF there, then what you can do that with that. So let's understand those things. A CSRF attack exploits a vulnerability in a web application if it cannot differentiate between a request generated by an individual user and a request generated by a user without their consent. So it might be happen that an individual just requested that might be generated by the individual user and might be not, right? So attacker already, so you have seen the many advertisements on many websites, right? So those are the that is already pre-planned by the you can say attacker. And so let's take an example. To give you an example, let's say the Bob has an online banking account on samplebank.com, right? He regularly visits this site to conduct transaction with his friend Alice. Bob is unaware that samplebank.com is vulnerable to CSRF attacks. Meanwhile, an attacker aims to transfer $5,000 from Bob's account by exploiting this vulnerability. To successful launch of this attack, the attacker should have an exploit URL, right? Attacker must have also tricked Bob into clicking the exploit URL. So definitely every attack is happening with the mistake of victim. So until and unless the user is going to click on that URL, he can't be the attacker can't do anything. Bob needs to have an active session with samplebank.com. So these are the some things which is needed. Now it might be these are the only theory, so it might be not helpful for you. So let me show you with the help of diagram that how the scenario is. So let's say you are a hacker, guys. Okay, so you are a hacker, and let's say you are planning you are going to plan some you found out a CSRF on a bank website, and you have already taken your victim, right? So what you will do, right? So initially this is the individual user, right? So individual user directly going on the bank website, right? So let's say first victim logs into a bank account, right? So this is the bank website, let's say. Now bank website will directly reply with him that a bank assigns a victim a validation token. Now that validation token, now you are a hacker. Now what you will say, what you will send, hacker sends false requests disguised as legitimate communication from the bank. That will show him as a legitimate communication from the bank, but in actual it is not. So now the fourth number is that victim unknowingly forward request to the bank. Now, so what will happen here, that it is unknowingly forwarding to this bank website with that token you have remembered, right? So that the fifth one, the bank will again giving that validation token that will validate that thing. So fifth one, force request is executed by the bank using previously assigned validation token. So that's for the individual it is working. Now let's understand the scenario in those cases on that hacker already given it as an advertisement or something, or you can say already having their link there. So in those cases, what will happen? So initially, attacker what will do? Attacker will share the to a link to maliciousite.com through email, social media, and other things, right? So victim what will do? What will victim will do? Victim will open the browser, open the link in a browser. So it's a victim's browser. You can see here. Now, what will happen? The malicious payload is going to be executed with the maliciousite.com, and it will reverse it. And at last, the fourth one, the send request including user credentials. So here the user credential is going to be targetsite.com. And the fifth one, request is accepted and processed as legit user request. So this is the second way. In this way also user can might be vulnerable. So I hope guys I'm able to make you understand, and that is really a very cool concept. And in the next lecture we are going to learn that where we are going to find the CSRF and how we can find the what are the parameters, and what are the things, what are the tools by which we can find the CSRF. Till then, bye bye, take care.